Today on Softball 360, round 2 of the Stadium Power Tour lands along the banks of the Ohio River, home of the Reds. Discover why Cincinnati is also a big-time softball town. Team Easton's Brian Wegman lives here and shares a slice of Cincy. Check out Big League Dreams, a softball theme park with amazing replicas of classic MLB yards. Later, a preview of the WSL Worth North American Championships from sunny Panama Beach, Florida. Reporter Greer Howard has the latest news and shows your team what to expect.
I'm not going anywhere, and you shouldn't either. We got more to come.
And we'll get mic'd up on the Stadium Power Tour. Crank it up to 11. Softball 360 starts right now. This is the only show dedicated to the sport of softball. And hello again, everybody. Welcome to Softball 360. Dave Benz alongside Timmy Layton. You are in tune to the best show in America revolving around the sport of softball. Now, last week, the Stadium Power Tour got underway in San Diego. This week, it switches to Cincinnati, home to the Great American Ballpark. Timmy, there have been some fantastic battles waged in the Stadium Power Tour in that yard. And of course, it only makes sense because it is a great softball community located right on the banks of the Ohio River.
Always a popular stop on the Stadium Power Tour, it's softball country.
And it's probably the favorite stop for one of the chief players on the Stadium Power Tour. I'm talking about Brian "The Ball Will Be Flying" Wegman. He hails from the city of Cincinnati, and he loves going back to the Great American Ballpark. The Reds make it easy to dress for success in Cincinnati.
Yep, Cincinnati Red Stockings, red legs.
Great American Ballpark receives solid reviews and has become the centerpiece to a revitalized riverfront. Attached to the park, the Reds Baseball Hall of Fame. A dream come true to those who treasure the early days from the Red Stockings, to Sparky and the Big Red Machine, to newly elected Hall of Famer Barry Larkin. Kings of the Queen City, this is also big-time softball country. Fans arrive early to the park on this day. They meet, mix, and mingle with their home run heroes on the Stadium Power Tour.
News of the game, things happening around the ballpark. We're in the fan zone where the Long Haul Bombers are here. You saw them before the game. Now, they're the world's greatest softball home run hitters. 500 feet they can hit it, and maybe, I hear one might have even bounced.
Team Easton's Brian Wegman grew up here and calls Cincy home. Wegs has plenty of pride and admits feeling a bit anxious about hitting before his hometown fans and family.
It's always a little added pressure because my buddies won't let me live it down if I really stink it up, because the adrenaline can get the best of you. You can get the shakes, you can get the wobbles. It can be a little overwhelming, but as far as the consistency, a lot of it is how you use that adrenaline and carry it over into your swing. Each swing, every swing. Nobody wants to get booed. That negative adrenaline can take over if you start off bad.
Wegs has logged 5 years on the Stadium Power Tour and along the way earned league-wide props and praise.
At this point, Wegs is a veteran of the tour. Same deal, he's level-headed, he's calm out there. He brings a great intensity and consistency, you know. He's capable of hitting a 500-plus foot shot, and that makes him get on their feet at the stadiums.
Pound for pound, probably one of the best players in the country, and great guy, very humble and willing to help the younger guys, and I think that's what I like so much about them.
Raw talent. Wegman has both sides of the game. I mean, he can play defense. He can, obviously hit it plenty far. He is also another one that just puts in effort and time.
Team Easton won the coveted Manufacturers Cup last year, and the road to a repeat starts right here in Cincy. They like their chances as much as their Easton gear.
Tested and proven, out of the wrapper better. And the Easton durability is still there, so you're getting exactly what you want. The Raw Power line of bats, they're the real deal.
Here's a fun fact about Weggs. His brother Bill played for the Milwaukee Brewers for a decade.
Yeah, well, no doubt. I remember him suiting up for the Brew Crew back in the day, as I'm sure many of our viewers do. Now, of course, this is just the second stop on this year's Stadium Power Tour. From Cincinnati, the Power Tour will head to St. Petersburg for a show at the Trop. A big Friday night then follows in Texas at the ballpark in Arlington, followed by shows in Atlanta, Detroit, Houston, St. Louis, Seattle, Minnesota, New York, and Miami. And the finals this year, where it all wraps up, will be a special Friday night, August 23rd in St. Paul, Minnesota at Midway Stadium.
You know what, Dave? Now it's time for my favorite part of the sport, the women's fast pitch.
You mean a little rock and fire? You got some rock and fire in
Maybe
there?
just a little bit, but I think they can bring a little bit more. It's a little bit more natural than an overhand pitch, but let's see what they have to offer.
Rock and fire is a phrase these ladies live by. They're taking the sport of fast pitch to the next generation at weekend clinics that bring all the elements together. Taryn Mowat was an All-American at the University of Arizona, a legendary righty who once struck out 18 players in a game and threw 2 no-hitters.
Because, I mean, all of us were young at once. All of us looked up to somebody at one time in our lives. Now I'm in the role that I get to be the one trying to kind of pave the way for younger girls to be in our position.
And for the kids at the clinic, learning from the greats of the game may be the best part of the weekend.
I love it for the fun of the game, and I get to play anywhere.
Still ahead, take a tour of Big League Dream, a theme park for classic MLB yards. Just what else would you expect in Vegas? The best teams are headed to Panama City Beach, and Greer previews some of the matchups. Time to pack your bags for a Softball 360 road across America.
Softball 360 is brought to you by Easton Sports. There is a difference, and the difference is Easton. By Miken Sports. Elite equipment for the elite player. Miken Sports. By bpathletics.com. When you want the best in quality, service, and price, log on to bpathletics.com. And by softballcenter.com, the site for major softball news.
Welcome back to Softball 360. I'm Timmy Layton with Dave Benz.
Well, one thing we have learned in the history of the show, big things come from small towns, and we're talking about softball tournaments, those that make up the very fabric of the sport. Take a look. Our small town softball tour starts in Owatonna, Minnesota. Porky's Early Bird, this year's tourney was delayed by a snowstorm.
The tournament right out of the chute that everybody plans for, everybody puts on their calendar.
It's a big tournament. I mean, you're talking 132 teams, multiple divisions, a lot of people here to watch it, great atmosphere.
Down the road, Hope, Arkansas plays host to the Watermelon Fest and softball tourney.
Oh, look at that, get that!
Part of the fun and games includes seed spitting and a largest melon competition. The best softball teams go round the clock, a tradition going on for 30 years. Hope is the boyhood home of former President Bill Clinton and a small town that pays tribute to the Razorback Hog.
Big Suey!
One of the biggest tournaments in the world takes place in one of the smallest state capitals. For close to 40 years, more than 450 teams have flocked to the fantastic fields and facilities in Bismarck, North Dakota.
The whole premise of this softball tournament is giving back to others.
People want to see the best of the best, and Team USA is a great organization. So we want to come in with the best players that we have and try to compete with them and get some good entertainment for the fans.
All this effort is for charity. Close to $100,000 is raised and stays in the local community. Small-town softball fever also travels north of the border. Since 1976, the Le Pif has been the thing to do in Sherbrooke, Ontario. Some of the best teams in Canada are here to play ball. Even stars from the National Hockey League drop by for the games.
Come and see by yourself. Cross the border and come and catch what it feels to be a real softball boy.
While the towns may be small, the spirit is big, and it brings everybody together in a softball kind of way. Earlier this season, we talked about the Long Haul Bombers going to spring training in Vegas at Big League Dreams. It is a fantastic facility. It includes replicas of a number of Major League parks. In Las Vegas, things are not always as they seem, and that's true at spring training. The Long Haul Bombers conduct their spring training at a facility known as Big League Dreams, with several softball fields designed as replicas of classic Major League ballparks. Take a look at what appears to be Fenway. Same legendary green monster in left. Even a faithful recreation of the foul pole made famous in the '75 World Series. It's like being in Boston without the clam chowder. Just a few yards away is another famous ballpark, New York's Yankee Stadium. The historic white facade frames up what is known by many as the Cathedral of Baseball. Even Monument Row looks and feels like the real thing. From the Big A in Anaheim to LA's legendary Dodger Stadium, plenty of details for fans of the game to take in. Now, some fields require you to get into baseball's version of a time machine. This is what Crosley Field must have looked like. Crosley was the home to the Cincinnati Reds from 1910 to 1970. Next door at Wrigley, the bleacher bums are cheering on the Long Haul Bombers as they shake off their rust, break out the bats, and bust out the confidence. I guess it's only fitting that in Vegas, where you can walk a block and go from Paris to New York, that you would also be able to go to Fenway Park or Wrigley Field at Big League Dreams. Great stuff.
Check out more information at Big League Dreams at our website, softball360.com. But stay tuned, folks, more coming your way.
When Softball 360 returns, Greer Howard checks in with the action from Frank Brown Park in Panama City Beach, Florida. But first, time for the Power Tour Power Questions. Rolling Stones or the Beatles?
Rolling Stones.
Beatles.
Rolling Stones.
Most definitely Rolling Stones for me.
Beatles. Neither.
What Power Tour Power Questions do you have? Send yours to us at powertourquestions@softball360.com. And welcome back to Softball 360. You know, we've talked a lot about the chase for the Stadium Power Tour title on the show, but everybody else out there is chasing something else, maybe even bigger. A spot in the WSL North American Championships in Panama City Beach, Florida.
And don't forget, this is where the biggest and baddest softball party takes place.
I'm here at Frank Brown Park, and you know, I'm just curious, what kind of stuff can Softball 360 get into while I'm here? Let's go find out. I'm feeling really short. How exactly tall are you?
I'm 6'6".
Yeah, we had a little too much fun Thursday night when we got here.
Wow, classy group around here.
Used with caution, it tends to make things worse for everyone involved.
Does everybody have a hand tattoo or just you?
Just me.
Does it help you like focus and like intimidate the team a little bit more?
Absolutely not. No.
Where do all of the best softball teams come to play softball every single year?
Frank Brown Park. Your stance is all wrong, but you're looking good.
Going pretty good.
Big Al over here brings his own golf cart.
A couple weeks ago, it flipped on me.
It's been a while since I've hit a softball, but I'm willing to take up the challenge today. So let's see what happens. All right, Randy down there, he's gonna throw me a couple shots. Hope I'm not gonna make an idiot out of myself. All right, here we go. Oh, don't hit the camera guy. Home run, did you get my home run? All right, if anybody's looking for a spot on their team, you know who to call. I'm here with Nathan Kendrick, the owner of WSL. So Nathan, thank you so much for being here today. And give me a little overview of the tournament this weekend.
This weekend we have 158 teams. They're from 24 or 25 states, I believe.
So how do you get into this tournament this weekend?
They run qualifiers all over the country, and they place in the top 5 to get to Panama City.
What kind of prizes do you have this weekend?
This weekend, we're giving rings, over $110,000 for both weekends, and over 140 bats worth gave us to hand out to the teams.
So softball players need to get down here with your team so you can play, because you can go home with some awesome prizes. I'm here with Richard Sanders, who's the VP of Sports Marketing for the Panama City Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for being here. We're glad to have Softball 360 at this event. It's something we're very proud of, and it's our #1 sports event for the month of September. The main thing is the draw that it brings. There's really less than 10% local teams that participate, so a lot of teams from throughout the United States are coming.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about Frank Brown Park? This is an incredible facility.
It's a facility we're very proud of outside of the baseball, softball that can be played here. It's a 20-acre site. It's just over 10 years old. It holds numerous national and world events here throughout the year. It's our #1 sports asset here at the beach. And like I said, there's a whole lot that goes on here.
What are some things that they can get out and do and really enjoy in the city?
Well, right across the street is Pier Park, and it's only 3 years, maybe 4 years now old itself. It's 1 million square foot of entertainment, and our eateries are second to none. Just a lot of things to do.
Well, not only is Panama City Beach an incredible place to come and play softball in this tournament, but it's also just an incredible place to come.
You can see it this weekend with over 150-something teams.
And okay, that may be the biggest softball party in the country. It's a pretty good tournament too, but there's another huge tournament taking place in St. Paul, Minnesota in late August. It is the ASA National Championships, and it features the best slow pitch teams from across the country.
To get more information on the ASA National Championship, visit us at softball360.com. Stay tuned, we have more coming your way.
Listen in as we are mic'd up on the Stadium Power Tour when Softball 360 returns.
Softball 360 is brought to you by DeMarini. Upgrade your game with the DeMarini CL22. By Evil Sports. The best softball on the planet is evil. EvilSports.com. By Reebok. Check out the Reebok 2013 Barrage at suncoastsports.net. And by the WSL. Play the next level. The WSL Worth North American Championship Series.
And welcome back to Softball 360, home of the Stadium Power Tour and the world's greatest softball home run hitters. Well, if you've ever wondered what it's like to be in there hitting a 500-foot home run, well, a lot of people have. We at least are going to give you a snippet by letting you know what it sounds like.
We sure are, Dave. The Long Haul Bombers are mic'd up and ready.
Listen in to the sounds on the Stadium Power Tour.
Program, scorecard, pregame, Long Haul Bombers. Special pregame show of the Long Haul Bombers, scorecards and programs.
Getting ready for the big show. It's an essential element of what it takes. Proper preparation is the key to big hits.
Big night tonight. Good chance for that Manufacturers Cup, which is our ultimate goal.
I'm definitely ready.
Once on the field, time to check out the stadium and the targets for massive home run shots.
I think it's a nice day to hit some a long way. See if we can hit some windows out there. There's a lot of nice things in this park to aim at.
And then it's showtime. The moment of impact has arrived.
The biggest and best softball home run hitters are about to get it on. Softball. Leads on.
Get there.
Hi, boy, help me. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Good. Atta boy. See, he murdered that. And it ain't. Look at that. Atta boy. Hi, boy.
after the show, the real sounds of success.
You know, we dig the long ball.
Because I've never seen any balls go that far. Up to that second deck up there, it was crazy.
This is why they do what they do, for the fans and the love of the game.
You never see a baseball hit 400, 500 feet ever. And seeing a softball, which is way larger than a baseball, hit that far, it's unbelievable. You never see that ever.
It takes skill to do what these guys do, and they're the best in the world at it.
Look at those biceps, look at those triceps. Those guys are animals.
These guys are the best. Makes my month seeing these guys.
Wow, Dave, that is amazing. And that's just a little bit of what it sounds like on the Stadium Power Tour.
Now, only 6 members of the Stadium Power Tour will qualify for the illustrious finals in St. Paul, Minnesota. For details on following the race and all things softball related, make sure you visit softball360.com.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And as I like to say, get out to the park and play ball.
Next week on Softball 360, the Stadium Power Tour invades the home of the Rays and hang out with Dustin D-Rock Roberts. Meet the man behind the muscle of 500-foot home runs. All next week on Softball 360.